I remember sitting down with a colleague once. We were co-working together. We were during our break and we just chit-chatting, just talking about how things how we talk. And realized that she just said, "Oh, I have nothing booked. I have no booking next day." And the way she said it was she wasn't stressed out saying it. She didn't feel there was no panic in her voice. And then she followed up with saying, like, yeah, but I'll get something. Again, she was calm, settled, and certain. And I that's when I realized, okay, in that moment, this is both of us, right? We're on similar skill here, but our nervous system were totally different. This is me back then. If the start of the week and I have an empty calendar, the panic, the worry, any jobs that come in, whether I want to do it or not, I am taking the thing left, right, like just to fill up my diary to say that I have work. The worry that I'm something is coming or like if I would get a job, that panic with her, it was just like, oh, I get something. Something had to change for me. Something, I started just questioning everything, questioning how I was rolling. Because here is another person who's doing the same thing as I have. And she's like, yeah, it's all good. And then I had to like really reflect of how the worry of like, oh, I have to just do the job or take the job just in case I don't get anything else. The beliefs that I started having behind like how I was showing up, what was going on. And around the same time, there was this um like talk, how one interpreter said they made about 60,000 pounds in the year. And people were like, how? Like, seriously, how did like all those things? And it was just, there was this talk of like, there's not enough jobs out there. Like, it's so difficult and this and that. Like, you have, it was with all those things that were happening around me. And then this person's like, it's okay. And as luck would have it, I mean, luck is manufactured. I was doing a training at the time, and I was now getting into the business side of things and realizing, okay, let's put some plan in place. Let's think about, okay, how much do I want to earn in a year? Okay, how much do I want to earn in a month? Okay, what does it look like in a week? Okay, in a day, then how many jobs does that apply, turn out to be? Okay, with different agencies, with different places, you earn like, some people are capped, some like you can negotiate, some are like, okay, how knowing that and figuring out, okay, this is what's gonna how like I can fit it to make that week amount that I want that went on. And as that was happening and like jobs were happening, then my nervous system was like, babe, no, no, we don't like it. And it's like, then I then realized you can't really have strategy without the agreement with the nervous system. And also you cannot just regulate your nervous system to be like, oh, it's all right, whatever, without really having a strategy. The two are so important to align to really get you the ultimate of that which you want. That's anyway, that's my truth anyway, and that's what I found for myself. Because even when like I was like, um, work then you realize, okay, if I want to earn this much money, then I have to like up my rates, and then this is what's going to be so that it would like work out to be there. Then having to do, say, okay, let me just pull out a number, like me saying, oh, I'm doing um say 30 pounds an hour, and someone who's doing say 60 or whatever, or even 120. And then I'm there looking for three opportunities to make that 120, whereas I can just have the one opportunity and I've made that 120. Like the thinking have to start shifting. You have to start like figuring out, okay, what does this get to look like? Okay, where are the places where these opportunities are? Like thinking in those ways and then looking at that and then be like, you know what? These people are trying to find the least amount of how much they have to pay. So they will want to grind you down and be like, oh, okay, oh, your prices actually won't be having work. And then you're like, oh my goodness, okay, I have to reduce my prices then. If not, I won't have any work. Or then because you're in that state, you won't be getting any work because you're now like, and then it's like, okay, I have a strategy. Now my nervous system is not aligned. It's like, what we're doing here, what's going on? I can't keep up with this stuff. And it's like, it's okay. Like having those tools to just calm oneself and say, okay, this is a strategy. Now let's work on the beliefs that's going to support that strategy. Because if you're now feeling like, okay, I have this thing, but oh my goodness, I'm not sure if I can like hang in there. Those bills are not going to wait for like you start having all these negative talks that are happening. That's where the issue will start happening, like will start being in place. So once you kind of like strategically worked out, okay, this is what it gets to look like for me. This is what they're like the amount are, the domain, and then figuring out what are the things that I love to do. There was a time when conferences and like having those high profile jobs and like being like, yes, I've done this, like um having the opportunity to interpret for the Her Later Majesty the Queen of England when she opened up the hospital, like things like that, be like, yes, or being doing like Olympics one of the panels, like all those things. And you realize, look, my nervous system or this type of stuff is not it's not my thing. I'm more communal. I'm more like we're waiting in the waiting area, we're having a chit chat, we're figuring out, okay, yes, what did you have for lunch? Just conversation, getting to know people. You see them like maybe they've gone away, they now come back, and like, how did the holiday go? Be able to just have those stuff, then say you're in like, like a court interpreter, like you can't really have that rapport. It's just like hi and bye, and that's it. You're in the space, you do your thing, you're out. It wasn't like my sweet spot. It didn't work out for me. Or is it when I did a police work and this guy was drunk out of his head and then he's slurring in his sign and then like he says sign, I'm like, what? And it's like, see, she doesn't understand me. She doesn't understand me. I'm like, that you don't understand you. You're like you're out of your head. And I just like, you know what? Why would I be stressing myself in those kind of situations when I can just do stuff that aligns with me? So here comes now deciding what kind of work you want to do, what the roles are, what agencies, what rates, who can you negotiate with, who's fixed, knowing how that works, who's going to have priority in your calendar. Bringing all those things down is very important to like really plan out because we're reverse engineering the desire we want. Okay, this is how much I want to make. This is how much I like how it works. Fortunately for sign language interpreters, right, we have like cancellation periods. My colleagues spoken not so much, which really sad. Um, and with that, I had a plan of this is what that gets to look like. Now I had to regulate myself to start working on I'm preferred interpreter. I get the jobs that I want. Like things like if I don't if I apply to for a booking and I don't get it, someone's saving me from some headache or something like that unbeknown to me would have happened. That's why I didn't. And I'm saying things like that to myself just to kind of like, oh, we're good here. There is more. And then when you meet other colleagues and stuff like that, it's like, oh, it's really hard. Before I'll be like, yeah, right, yeah, it's, there's not much works around like, this agency, da 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 da. Yeah. And I just had to like, when people start saying stuff like that to me, I'd be like, oh, okay. I mean, I get opportunity. I just had to say it as I wanted it. There is work out there, you know. It might not be in this like season, but there is work or whatever that is. Like I would find a way to just turn it to how I want to see things than aligning to the energy of like, man, it is difficult to like find these agencies that they're just like monopolizing the whole thing. Like you can't really get work, da 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 da. I'm like, no, I'm not following in that energy. We're not rolling in that sheep. We are going in the one that knows that the job for us is there waiting for us. This calendar, this thing, this is what we want. Our brain is searching and giving us opportunities to fill out. and then we get that sorted. So now that we're working on the identity of the person and the nervous system is regulated, knowing that, oh, that job wasn't for me, this is my, and anchoring in the ones, I started noticing my calendar is like, even if it started off empty during in the beginning of the week, by the end, I'm hitting my target. If not just by a few hundreds or whatever, but I'm always on it, like percentage wise, like 20% out or whatever, or sometimes I even go over what I might like the thing that I want to make happen, like what I wanted to make for the week, what I wanted to make for the month. It was just happening because of what I was focusing on, because of how I was seeing it, and because of how I planned my thing to make sure that I'm getting the right resources, I'm doing the things to truly align. So strategy alone, without really having a good plan to support the nervous system can really take you a whack. And if you have like a really calm nervous system, stuff like that, and you don't really have that strategy to figure out, okay, this is what I'm earning, except if you're employed and you know, okay, this is everything is clockwork, they tell you where to go and whatever, and at the end of the month, the agreed amount you get, that's different. But having that balance is very important in being like really successful in whatever it is you're doing. And knowing the seasons of when, okay, this is like a Christmas holiday now, this is Easter, or this is like the summer, a lot of schools are out, or this like you plan yourself that way. You know, okay, what to do to make sure that everything is flowing and everything is kind of like in that part. So that's how I've been able to just go with the flow now in terms of like not worried about, oh, even if I start a week empty, I know by the end of the week I'll get the jobs and the work that I want. There is no like panic. And when you're doing this, when those panic comes, you have to start like really supporting the nervous system to like calm it down, which is what we talk about the strategy and stuff like that. So how have you been able to navigate your end? Like how do you balance the empty calendar season, or like are you like want to just take any jobs that's out there just because you're panicking that just in case, or like no, you're very strategic in what you're doing and then you're never like you're cool and you have things planned like yeah, let's carry on this conversation down below. Until tomorrow, have a good one. Bye for now.